Um, it really is worth practicing slowly, even if it feels possibly painful, possibly boring, because you just won't get it fast. Whatever you're trying to do, you won't get it fast unless you can do it slow. And the fastest way that's to get you to playing it at a tempo that you want to play it at is to start slowly and get all the movements right. You know, if I want to do something like that, I've got to make sure my hand is actually, or make sure both hands are coordinated. That's the main thing about the notes sounding good. You don't want
Okay.
it to be uncoordinated, otherwise you'll just get some scrappy, that sort of thing. So take it slow and make sure both hands are really working in tandem. Yeah. So I've had to really realize this myself as well. You know, you want to get it done quickly. You want it to happen sooner than it will. It's a bit like weight training or something. You're not going to go and get the body that you want in a week or something. You got to train for a year or 2 years or whatever. It takes time.
How do you play riffs and chord sequences that are really hard and really fast better? So for me, slow it down, slow
Yeah.
it right down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything that you've got that's too fast, I think I said this last time, but if you can play something slowly, you can play it quickly. But if you can't play it slowly, there's no way on earth that you're going to be able to play it quickly. So just slow it down to a point that feels even ridiculously too slow, kind of like 50 BPM or something like that if you need to. Because when it's that
And
slow, yeah, sorry.
yeah, and sorry, I know we were going to talk about this anyway, but now would be a good time to bring in the use of the metronome and why it's so important, because you want to be able to measure. One of the reasons why we use the metronome is so you can measure how fast you can play something. So if you know how fast what you want to play is supposed to be, right, and you go in and you immediately. So I'm thinking of Junior 2, is it the Simpsons theme, right? Which has got this ridiculously fast tempo. And what usually happens is everyone can play the notes, but they can't play it fast enough. So what you want to do is find a metronome speed that you can play these really hard and fast riffs and chord sequences, and find a metronome speed that you can comfortably play that at, even if it's nowhere near the speed that you need to get to. But then you at least know where you are, and then how where you've got to get to from there.
See, I would do that, but that speed that you are comfortable with, I would take that down 10, 20, 30 BPM and play it even slower. So, because it's very hard when you've got a lot of spacing and you have to know exactly when to commit to playing those rhythms. And if you can internalize that at a very slow tempo, you can really analyze if you're doing up picks, down picks, and you can really work out and commit at that speed. Then when you speed it up, you've trained your hand, you know exactly what's going on. Because often, especially with fast riffs, it's more likely going to be a problem with your right hand than your left hand, and it's usually the most overlooked thing. So
and that's where all the picking practice comes in.
Absolutely.
There we go.
Right?
So yeah, I know it sounds boring, but a metronome and play it really, really slowly.
Well,
Anything I do, I'm sure Mike is the same. That like, especially with some of those country licks that we've both been like trying to do, slowing it right down and just spending a day. If it's meant to be 300 BPM, run it at 60 BPM for a week, then speed up once you've solidified it. Yeah, it is time consuming, but it is the way to get very, very good and very accurate with your playing. Is to play it slowly and then build up to speed once you're confident at a slow tempo.